Over on Broadway up the beach, you will find the Hollywood Wax Museum. There's also a mirror maze inside. And down on the bottom of the basement, as all basements are on the bottom, you will find Outbreak, Dread the Undead. Let's get into this thing. So as we always talk about line interaction, there was no line when we arrived. We'll soon find out there's several reasons for that fact that there was no line here. And I can say based off what we saw the evening that we went there, even if there was a massive line, this place isn't going to have any line interaction to speak of. Unfortunately, from what we experienced when we were there, this place is a little more than a thrown together, no passion, no care haunt. Don't like to talk bad about haunts, but this particular spot, it is what it is. They have regretfully used the horror genre to create a money grab, and honestly, it's a little gross. We're going to talk a little bit about why we feel that it's a straight money grab and more of a tourist trap than it is a haunted attraction in any way, shape, or form. Tickets are around $20 unless they're purchased as a package. With the other attractions located in the building, and if you purchase it all as one package, you're looking at spending about $30. And if you're going to go, you're like, hey man, I don't give a crap what you say, I'm going to go check this thing out. I highly recommend that you do just go ahead and get the package, because hopefully the Wax Museum and the Mirror Maze will make up for the extreme disappointment that you're probably going to feel at the end of this thing. The idea of the haunt is that the zombie outbreak has occurred in the lab. It is a theme that has been presented in horror genres over and over and over and over and over again. I don't really fault them on that. There's a lot of haunted houses that use themes that have already been played in haunted house and horror movies and the horror genre and everything like that. So it's really no fault there on hitting a thing that's been hit 100 different times in 100 different ways. It's fine. And the idea is that you're going to work your way through this lab and try and survive this infestation that has occurred. Now, before I get too harsh on it, and before we get into this too awfully much, and this is going to be a short review because there's not really a lot to say about this place. I do want to talk about a little bit of positive before we're really going to be jumping into our ratings here very shortly. There's just nothing to talk about. They did have some really cool animatronics and some really cool special effects. And I want to talk about some of the animatronics that they had and some of the special effects that they had that were pretty cool. Actually pretty impressive. And that's part of what makes this place so disappointing. We'll get into it here very shortly. One that I particularly liked, you come across, you're walking down a hallway, and there's this video screen in front of you, and this guy comes running up, and he's panicked, and a zombie comes up behind him, starts squeezing his head, and the head explodes, which is cool, and then they had this little mist spray that sprayed out at you right when the head popped. It was unexpected. It was a really cool effect. They had walls that were falling in. It looked like they were going to kind of fall in on you. They had a zombie that was stuffed up underneath of some of the shelving and stuff that had fallen. It was stuck, and he was trying to get out of it. So they had some really cool effects. They had lighting that went out at certain points, all types of different stuff like that as when you're walking down hallways. So they had some stuff in there that was cool, but there was nothing in there that really made me even feel like I was inside of a haunted attraction. When we talk about animatronics and special effects, they should be used as distractions to set up the actor to make the scare. We've talked about that numerous times, and every single person that we've talked to about haunts has basically said the same thing. That's how it should be done. The animatronics, the special effects, they're distractions to set you up for the scare. They're designed to make you go, oh, that's cool, and then get the shit scared out of you by the live actor that you don't see hiding in the corner. And this is where this place completely and totally falls flat on its face. Terrible. There is no acting going on inside of this joint at all. There was 2, maybe 3 actors, I don't know for sure, but one of them, his or her only job was to bang on glass. And I'm sorry, that's not acting. That's not being a haunt actor. I get that there's a need for that role, but that's literally it. There was one actor in the final scene that could have saved it a little bit and could have made this work. And we have seen other haunts make it work with a smaller number of actors. And we're going to talk about that a little bit when we get into the ratings here, literally in just a split second. This place didn't have it, and this last actor just absolutely just drove the final nail in the coffin for this place, as it being just a absolute, it's just a crap haunt, man. We were very unimpressed, very unhappy with it. It just wasn't our cup of tea. Now, I will say this, if you're wanting to get some ideas for special effects, if you're wanting to see some really cool animatronics, and that's literally your only purpose, and you understand that walking into it, that you just want to see some cool Hollywood-style special effects, which they had, and that's really, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, that really pisses me off, some of the animatronics that they have, because it shows that they have resources. Okay, so we'll get into that in just a second. This last scene where you could really kind of wrap it together and give a good scare right there at the end, there was zero passion behind it, zero care behind it, and it just sucked. So again, if you want to go see some really cool animatronics and see some really cool Hollywood-style special effects, it does have that. So if that's your only purpose, that's your only reason for wanting to go, the hell with it, go. But beyond that, if you're looking to see a real haunted attraction, how this stuff should be done, get a good scare, get that blood flowing, get that blood pumping, this ain't the place for you at all. So, all that being said, like I said, this is going to be probably one of the shortest reviews we've ever done. We're already down into the ratings part of our review. We're going to start off with the positive. All right, start off on a high note. Environment, they did score. They got a solid score, 8 out of 10. It was very good. This place did have some really cool special effects, like we've talked about. Some awesome animatronics. I feel like I am saying special effects way too much, but that's literally all there is to talk about. There's nothing else to talk about. They did have some lighting going out in some of the hallways like we talked about. They had several zombie props. They had the walls falling in around you. A few things like that was cool, but not enough. Not enough at all. So we will give them the solid score on the environment, 8 out of 10. Regretfully, it's going to go really downhill beyond that. Acting, this is the lowest score we have ever given in any category to any haunt. It is a 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. And the only reason we didn't give it a 0 out of 10, which I don't even know if that was something we even thought was possible. The only reason we gave it a 1 out of 10 is because there were people inside. There was at least 2, maybe 3. So they at least did have somebody inside. It just, they weren't doing anything. You have all these cool animatronics going on, all these cool special effects, and we saw it at Ripley's, that you can do this stuff with a select, limited number of actors and actresses if you have the right person leading it and they have the passion to do what they're doing. I want to describe the final scene to you, okay? So you come into this last room. And the last room actually really didn't have any effects or animatronics in it or anything like that. It's just you and an actor, which is, all right, cool. All right, here we go. Save yourselves. Make it killer. Do it right. So what do? All right, this guy walks out of the door holding his damn mask on because he didn't even take the time to tie it up. And I thought for a second that maybe it was supposed to be, like he was holding his face on or something like that. But the strings are hanging off the damn thing. It's clearly he grabbed it, shoved it on his face real quick, runs out the door, and then doesn't even say anything. It's like he literally, to me, it felt like he walked into the door, almost like he walked in on somebody taking a shit and just kind of, oh crap. And then just turned around and walked back in. That was it. That was all of it. That was their final climactic closing scene, was a half-ass actor. Sorry if you're watching, man, but step your game up because it was pitiful. Half-ass actor wearing a half-ass mask that wasn't even put on all the way. It was terrible. It was terrible. There's not a single moment of any type of acting in this thing that was redeeming or put you into the environment or gave you a good scare. So acting, regretfully, It's a 1 out of 10. Scare factor, not much better. 2 out of 10. There was no scares to be had. Again, cool effects, but nothing that made you jump, nothing that got the blood flowing. The only reaction it really ever got from us was, oh, check that out, that's kind of cool. And the only quote-unquote maybe little tiny bit of jump scare we got, the only thing that got the scare rating to go from a 1 to a 2 was the video with the zombie pop and the blood spray was unexpected. And it was cool. I did like that, and it did give me a little for just a second, but it was followed up by immediately just, oh man, that was kind of a cool effect. And the walls kind of falling in at times was a little unexpected. The light shutting off in the middle of the hallway and being pitch black was kind of a little unexpected. That was it, man. It was nothing that really got the blood flowing, got the juices going, gave you that good old-fashioned haunt attraction scare that you're looking for. It just wasn't there. That brings us to the last one, the overall rating. It's in the dumpster, man. It's a 3 out of 10. It was very disappointing. Again, the 3 out of 10 is only because of the environment. If they had not had the animatronics and the special effects that they did, this place would have probably been a 1 or a 2 out of 10. It has scored lower than Scareview. All right, and that's saying something. We haven't had really, honestly, a bad one since Scareview, and this one was it. And I tell you right now, I'd rather go to Scareview than I would Outbreak Dread the Undead. Just not good. They need a Donald. And when I say they need a Donald, Ripley's Haunted Adventure, is ran by a guy named Donald that was literally brought into Ripley's to fix what Outbreak's experiencing right now. And here's the thing, in Outbreak, if you watch, and I don't think that they will, but if they do, get you a Donald, okay? Because your haunt has resources, right? There's no doubt about it. The animatronics, the special effects in there is money packed into this thing. But regretfully, that's what they've done. Is it feels like they've taken $100 grand, they've slammed it all into this building, and slammed it all into these effects, and said, all right, done, and just moved on to the next thing. And they're just letting it do its own thing, just cycle people through, and not half a shit's given about what a haunted attraction should be, how you should feel when you're leaving it, how they're supposed to be ran, or anything like that. It's like the people that have put this together have never even been in one. They've just watched some horror movies and went, oh, that looks cool, and just slapped this shit together. It was pitiful. It was absolutely awful. And it could be so much better. It really could. If you got yourself a Donald, somebody that knows the haunt industry, that knows how to put these things together, and just put just a couple actors in the right spots, doing the right things with the right passion and the right feel for it, this thing could be a 7, a 6, a 7, maybe even get into that 8 realm, and maybe even snag itself a seal of approval. But it's nowhere even close, because there's zero passion in this thing. There's not a single ounce of it. It was terrible. It was terrible. But there is hope for it. I do think that there is a small amount of hope for it, but they have to get somebody in there that has passion for the haunt industry, has passion for haunted attractions, and wants to see this thing better and wants to see this thing done right. They have the resources, they have the money. There's no doubt about that when we saw what we saw inside. They just need the passion. They need the right person to do it. I hope that they get it. And I hope that maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, that it's a much better haunt. And that somebody comes in and sets this place up right, because it has all the potential in the world. It really does. It's already set up as far as just the environment and the effects. It's all there. It just needs somebody to come in and put a good solid story behind it, give a good feeling behind it, know how to elicit some scares from people, and it could be there. And it could be absolutely awesome. But for this year, and for what we experienced, it is a 3 out of 10. It is not recommended unless you just want to go see some special effects, go spend your money somewhere else, go do something else. This is not the place to go chill out and get a good haunted attraction feel. I gotta get this yucky taste out of my mouth from doing this haunt review now. And that's it, guys. That is it. 100% Outbreak, dread the undead, and dread this haunt. That's it.